Oh, there we go. Okay, so I'm Gean Velveteen. Nice to meet you all. I was super excited to do this because I've never done a strip and speak before, and I thought, what better opportunity? So, I don't know how erotic this piece is, but I'm going to take my clothes off and say some dirty shit. So, it's called I Am Human.
Yes.
I am human. Does the world believe me yet? What more shall I do? Cut into my skin, perhaps I can dig around in that flesh rather than the delicate folds between my legs. Or perhaps both at the same time. A hysterectomy, better than the lobotomy most psychiatrists recommend for a passionate woman. 3 weeks of depression bitch slapped by a solid week of mania. Sounds like a menstruation cycle has now made its way into the DSM. Hysteria for the 21st century in America. Get the hose, your little soul pill. Shove it down your throat rather than the extra estrogen you require, which might give you some sense of control. Stepford wives become citizens in Arabia while women are lashed on the streets for showing their mouths. Their mouths. No ball gag here. 50 Shades of Grey, the new red tape over the mouth of the desperate housewife. Al Gore and Game Boy created a generation of men ready to push a button for instant gratification, an army prepared to fight against its first prison cell. That bleeding, gaping hole, the sin of flesh where life begins, will inevitably be where it ends. Mother Nature will take her course. The womb will not be defeated by her own gene, a gene of which I am, Gean, Prunius adium, the sweet and sour cherry tree of life. Tartan wild like a pinball that hits a bonus bumper just the right amount of times, repeatedly in rhythm. Play it right and it spits out that bonus called life. Life. Don't get too attached. A dreamy gal once told me I hadn't been picked yet because the lazy boys go for the low-hanging fruit, and I was the ripe fruit at the top of the tree, that ripe forbidden fruit. Well, I got news for you, soothsayer. If I'm anything other than human, I'm not simply a piece of fruit. I'm the whole fucking tree. George Washington, you tried to chop me down. Sorry, honey, you only left a hatchet wound. You can eat me with your wooden teeth. Just remember where those came from. Your Missouri Synod ancestor tried to chop me down as well. 2 hours of marriage counseling required before he'd marry me to that good old boy from the small Midwestern Victorian town. There's an order that makes sense. It's for women to be subservient. When we left, I cried alone in our bedroom at the realization I was not human to either one of you. Slaves deemed 3/5 human over 200 years ago rose up to that big white house and proved them wrong, leading the way for the nasty woman. It took them 50 years to acknowledge us as citizens after their man-slaves, and that was just a tease for women of color. I guess we'll see y'all in 2058. A corporate pig sits in the house now, waiting for slaughter, doesn't know he's destructible, doesn't know his own mortality. How that must fucking feel. Just remember, that river you drink from in D.C. is protected by a forest field with big, fat, juicy cherry trees. The ripe fruit. A 40-year-old man once told me, I want to knock you up as he thrust into me, his hand around the back of my neck like a dying ego tossing a quarter into a slot. To kill and create, he thinks, 2 birds with 1 stone, let's knock her up. Ding ding, bonus round. Every month, my cherry bleeds my failed and fragile ego, forcing the world to see that I am human. Perhaps men don't want to see me as equal. Perhaps they just don't like themselves that much. So I have one more. Again, I don't know how erotic it is, but now I'm half naked, so it's called The Art of Acrylics. Chips of color dumped out into my living room floor. I was going to purge them into the trash can, thinking how I wore my mood or current phase on the dead parts of my body. Even in death, women are taught, make it pretty. The oil separates in the bottles from the vibrant shades of autumn berry, Rican rum, pink peony, and perfectly plum. Moods and expressions safely contained in formaldehyde. You can wipe the feelings off with a soft cotton ball should they get too overwhelming, overbearing, and too loud. Better settle on pink peony. Conjuring the devil is consensual after all. Save cherry red for Saturday night when I dress up like a character I saw in an old B movie as a child. I can feel what a man wants when I wear cherry red. Like that shadow of hardness against my lower back, I'll spend the rest of my life trying to convex. Images of midnight blue jeans look like your eyes staring at my ass. The sound of belt buckle brass rings in my ear when you holler, hey girl. Rare ruby, a piece of veal, the freshest flesh prime for consumption. Eating it doesn't count if it's covered in cellophane. We poke holes in the meat like a child at the grocery store. Stop doing that, Mom says, you'll spoil it. But even then I knew it technically doesn't count. I'd run after my mother in her shopping cart headed toward Aisle C Cosmetics, leaving the spoiled and dented remains for an unassuming customer, and a day when I'm a grown-up, and disorders are the new nail polish we wear to cover up our dead parts. Thank you.
Oh my God, amazing.
Thank you.
Holy shit!